Okay, we have today maybe what is the most insane state law that we have ever had to cover, as the super conservative Tennessee governor has just signed legislation allowing teachers to be armed with guns in school. That is right. Republicans think putting more guns in school will make it a safer environment for kids. All teachers should just be cops, right? That'll solve all of these issues we're seeing. And there's a few obvious things wrong with this very sloppy, very stupid piece of legislation. Namely, the teachers would only need 40 hours of firearm training and a psychological certification to be able to concealed carry these firearms. The parents of the students would not be able or alerted to what teachers are carrying or what not. So you're not going to know if your kid is in a class where a teacher is carrying, which, by the way, that is 3 times less training than police officers get. It's less training than I got to work with children without a firearm. The average cop in over 100 hours of training only receives 8 hours of de-escalation training. We see how bad that police are at that. So do we really think teachers on a micro level, and I don't know if you guys have been to school or not, but they're not the most control of their emotions, but we think them micro trained for 40 hours will be enough to not just start blasting kids when they get nervous. Is that seriously what we think? Which just leads to another issue, by the way, that these teachers are not in any way going to be professionally trained gunmen or professionally trained with a firearm or anything. 40 hours, that's 1 work week. And we want to endow them with the responsibility of possibly having to fire into groups of children, fire around lots of children in classrooms where other children are, possibly having to shoot at their own students that they've been teaching throughout the school year, where emotions can come into play, and then even more so just raises the danger. According to data, you have around a 1 in 30 chance of successfully using a gun in self-defense versus how likely it is to be used successfully in a homicide. Adding a gun into any situation just makes it more likely that people will die. That is empirically true, but Republicans will do anything to avoid restricting guns or addressing gun control. Gun safety has only been weakened in Tennessee by their conservative legislator, despite the fact that they have one of the highest rates of gun deaths in the country. And the data clearly bears it out. Stricter gun laws, less gun ownership equals less gun death, less gun crimes. It's simple math. And the only way to escape that fact is to ignore reality. But conservatives in Tennessee, conservatives around America really, will never limit guns. So instead, we get incredibly stupid legislation that will solve nothing, made to appease bootlickers who think that police are will solve any problem except for, keeping your dog alive when you call them for a domestic dispute. But it really only raises the danger that these children will experience in these environments.
This bill is morally insane, and we've come to this chamber for a year expecting you to pass common sense gun laws. You have mothers and grandmothers here dragged from this chamber every week saying arm teachers with the books they need, the materials they need, the resources they need. But for God's sake, you don't hear them. What you're doing today is you're going to put guns in our schools for our teachers, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
This is not only pathetic, it is ridiculous, it is immoral, it is wrong, and each and every one of us need to do more to actually make our schools safer. Arming teachers is not the answer, and if it was, teachers would have told us so, but guess what? They didn't.
If gun violence is a problem, adding more guns won't solve that problem. It'll either make more violence or worse violence. You need to be proactive to address behavior. Responding will never stop that. Students show a reduction, or studies show a reduction in firearm homicide where there is high educational achievement in the students. Arming teachers with the knowledge to teach their students, keep them engaged, give kids a place to go and vent, make therapy and counseling more accessible, make it readily on hand in school so these problems aren't getting bottled up, bullies aren't getting unchecked. This is how you mitigate danger, and watch how that would help results. Not just maniacally hoping that an untrained adult with a gun can take out the untrained student with a gun. It sounds like a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.